How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. Getting us up on my phone too.
You're getting up. Oh, you're getting it pulled up on your phone. That's good. That'll help. You can tell me what I look like. If I'm freezing, if I'm, if
Nope,
I'm,
you look great with
if
that
I'm doing.
red on.
Oh,
That is your color.
thank you. I was just saying before we got started that I had spilled a little bit of blue tansy on it. You guys can't see, which is great because that's pretty much how I'm presenting myself to the world these days. So as long as nobody on Zoom can see it, on Facebook, FaceTime. But this stuff, definitely you don't want to get blue tansy on your clothes. You want to get it out. So
I never have. Well, is it going to come out?
we'll find out.
You haven't done. Okay, good. I don't know. I think it'll be fine. We'll get it out.
Yes. Hello, Sandy, Edith, Andy, or actually probably Leona. Aloha. Aloha. Hello, Valerie.
Hello,
So
everybody.
we wanted to talk tonight about why wait, and not necessarily anything particularly new that we haven't talked about before, but just this concept of waiting. There's this, I'll do it when I'm waiting for, I'm going to get this, that, and the other in place. And then I will, boom, whatever whatever it is you're procrastinating about. And I am put your hand up if you procrastinate. Put yourself in the comments. If you procrastinate, say me. You do?
I am the queen.
Really?
Yeah, not with health stuff though. Not, I mean, I do with that too, but not as much as other things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's fun for me. I love that, and I like seeing results. So it's a bit easier. I don't usually mess around with that.
Yeah.
But
so now the difference I've seen with procrastinating with other things and with your health is, and it does catch up with you. We've talked about this before, but like with other things, you can put stuff off, and sometimes right behind you, you have something that says there's no, what does that little saying behind you say? There's no motivation like the last minute or something.
Oh yeah, nothing makes a person more productive than the last minute. You spotted that a couple weeks ago.
I saw the last minute and I was like, oh, that looks like something that I told myself last minute Lucy. So there is an element of that productivity when you are up against the wall and you've got to get something done. It's the last minute and you do get really productive. With your health, though, it doesn't work that way, because you can't all of a sudden wait until you're slapped with a diagnosis and then be like, oh, let me hurry up and fix this. Not the same. It can be a great impetus, a great motivator, but it's not going to be, okay, I got it done right on the wire, right before my A1C.
Yeah.
I got it. I nipped it in the bud just in time. It was about to. No, usually by that time it's the slight edge concept. It's too late.
Yep.
Not too late to make a change, but too late to turn it around.
Yeah, turn around right then. When we have an example, and I'm kind of jumping the gun, but I gotta say it. I just texted her. I just sent her a message. Can't think of her name, but dropped her A1C, like improved it within how long? It was, A1C is like 3 months from, I think most tests are, but it was like 2 months, wasn't it?
Oh, you're talking about Shauna on our Gilliam? Yeah, Shonda,
okay.
Oh yeah, Shonda was like our poster child. We did the last fasting challenge, which we are going to do again. That's get your friends on here, guys. Share this. Because if you've got somebody, I keep noticing on Facebook, people are like, does anybody know about intermittent fasting? Has anybody been trying? And like, people are still like putting feelers out. And it's just, there's still people that are interested and have no idea what to do. Share this video, and then hopefully we can get more people in on the fasting challenge and more people doing it together for that sense of community and that sense of you can do it. You can do it. So
because that's what it's about for a lot of people. They're just like, I'm not really sure. Meanwhile, we're eating all kinds of stuff we shouldn't be eating, and no one's asking about that. We're not really sure, but we like it tastes good. So
I have these Doritos.
Yeah, yeah. No one's questioning all that stuff, but they start questioning when you say, remove breakfast or remove dinner or whatever you want to do. People start questioning, and it's like, okay, you guys, let's use our common sense. I'm never going to tell people not to check with their doctor. Do all the things that you need to do. You're an adult.
Yep.
Let's be clear. Like, use some common sense too.
Yes.
Common sense. Let's not get so all in our feelings that we forget to use common sense.
Yes. Okay. Everybody says me. So, like when you're having company. Oh yes. Or when you're moving, right, Felicia?
Yep.
It's like, oh look, the house is like we're getting all the stuff fixed, all the little,
Yeah. Whole different motivation.
Everything's looking nice. We're getting out of here.
I bet with summer coming around, more people will be interested. You know what? That's always the case. That's true.
Yep.
People are like all about it, eating all the garbage in the house. Yet we need the clean house in that way for sure.
Right. And then there's that. Like once all the bad food's out of here, then I know I won't name any names, but in my household there's I've heard that been said. Okay, let's just get the rest of the bad food out of the house, and then no. Because
you will keep doing that if I get on a cycle of that, because I've been there, and it's like, okay, I said Monday. Well, man, it's Monday tomorrow, and I'm still on this same kick. So sometimes you just have to go. You just have to do the things. And like I said, not make excuses. No excuses.
Yeah.
No procrastinating.
There is no right time.
Yeah.
There's only time and what you do with it. There is no right time. So many people are waiting for the right time. And a lot of times, so we were just talking about this in my group, the Level Up exclusive group I have, about autoimmune issues and how, that scale finally gets tipped over and now you're slapped with a diagnosis. And so now it's like, okay, you wait until then, when meanwhile, you could have been doing something along the way, or you could have prevented it. And because we don't see, and someone was asking me, what are the signs of leaky gut? And I'm like, well, they pretty much feel like everything else, and you pretty much feel like crap, and you don't realize you're feeling like crap because it's subtle and it's slow and it's insidious. So there's no like, oh, okay, let's get the leaky gut test. And if I'm positive for leaky gut, then I know I need to make changes. It's just, we all need to do it. We can just pretty much assume that we all have leaky gut. Like, let's just assume that. And let's go about the process of going ahead and healing that. Which
that's so smart that you're saying that, because it goes along with everything. It's like the week before with the hormone, the breast health challenge, the breast health series.
Yep.
It's supporting your overall health when you really look at it. So it's not like you need to do all this different stuff. It's supporting your overall health. So what I hope is that when people see like, oh, this is directly related, because sometimes it's hard for people to see, oh, that's gut. You see it all the time. People saying, oh, that's gut. And the person who is like new to even thinking this way is like, what do you mean gut? So being able to connect those dots for people is what I was hoping with, and what you're hoping with all the training you do, is that they see it all goes back to that. It all goes back to your gut. Stress, exercising, or even just moving, because exercising, people can get that out of hand. So I'll just say moving.
Yep.
And getting enough sleep.
Yep.
And making sure you support your detox system. All of it goes back. I don't care what it is that you're dealing with. So knowing the how and the why and exactly is something that can help motivate people. That's why we educate, because we want people to understand that. When it comes all down to it, like, don't act brand new, y'all. Don't act brand new. Like, it's the same thing.
You were born during the day, but not yesterday.
Yeah.
It's so true. Your health. So we're talking about in general procrastination, and I'm the worst when it comes to that. Like, literally, I'm not packed. Like most people, if they're moving in 3 weeks, they'd be packed. They'd have, like, literally, I don't have furniture. I know about procrastination, but there's levels of, you've got to prioritize in your things that are important in your life. Your health deserves so much more than to be put on the back burner. There's, it's comforting and it's warm and cozy, and it's hard when you think about, it's not hard, but it is for some people, those things of when I get all the right outfits and when I get my exercise equipment and when I get all the bad food out of the house, that's really just code for I'm afraid. I'm afraid to change. I'm not ready because it's scary. And so your health deserves so much more than that. It's one thing to procrastinate, organizing your closet. It's another thing to procrastinate something as simple and as important as your health that 100% we're fine. It's not like it's a question anymore. The healthcare industry, allopathic, Western, everyone is all agreeing that this is all coming from the gut. All of these things that are cropping up, and everybody has one, and everybody knows somebody that's got one. It's all connected to the gut. So it's not, there's no more excuses. So that's why we said in the crawler, what's your excuse? What is it that share with everybody? Because you'll start to see that other people have the same ones. I definitely have excuses of I have too much else going on. So because I have so much other things going on, well, I'm going to wait till things calm down.
And things never calm down.
No, and fasting, again, we're talking about life in general, but we're really honing in on fasting because it is, in the fasting challenge, last time we did it, I really talked about how it's the master willpower tool. If you can master that, you gain this willpower that's incredible. That specifically, it's going to give you clarity, peace, focus. So if you have too much going on, that's why you need to fast. Because it'll take
time. It'll literally give you time.
I don't have to eat, so I got more time. I got less food to buy. I got, while I'm fasting in the morning, I can just go ahead and just be packing, get stuff ready. Okay, Shelly said, going through a bunch of difficult stuff is my excuse, but when I do move my butt, I feel so empowered. It's so true. Earlier, I saw you said when you feel better, you get more done. So a lot of people say, when you're going through difficult things and emotional things in your life, food is comforting. It's comforting that's why it's called comfort food.
It's so sad. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a good thing because we need to eat. That's how we nourish our bodies. But the scales are so tipped, like literally. So I think that is the other thing that I like to say is that we cannot live in our feelings. You can't just go you can't wait and you can't not do things because you don't feel like it. You can't do that. I mean, think about the things that you do when there's a lot of all moms, or not necessarily all moms, but females. I'm guessing a lot are moms. The things that we do that we're like, ugh, but we did them because we felt that we had to, because it makes sense, because it's for our family, because it's for our kiddo or whatever. So it's the same way for our health. And I mean, if you have to think about it for your kiddo, then do that. So they see that, I can take care of my health. Start training them now. So use that as your excuse if that does it. Whatever it is you need to do, we need to do to get it going. We have to keep redirecting ourselves. And another thing is that maybe you're making it too big. Maybe you're thinking, I need to fast, so many hours. Start with something.
Just
get started. Stop waiting for this special thing or whatever. Get started, and then you can always adjust it. But at least you're doing it. Then you're making those little wins. And know yourself. Some people are like, I got to jump in and do a 20-hour. I know I won't do it. If that's the case, then do that. You know yourself. You stop acting brand new.
Stop acting like you're brand new. With fasting, you'll become more aware. It is one of the things that makes you so much more aware, and you get to know yourself when you're fasting. Kathy has a specific question about extended fasting. What do you do about hunger or headaches? We're going to talk about that. So that you're in my level up group. So I can tag you on. The last time we talked about that and the fasting challenge at the beginning of the year, we're going to talk about it again next week when we fast again. We've been fasting, but what I noticed last time I talked to you guys about this is that a lot of people have kind of like just kind of fallen off the wagon, not being real, they're just kind of, they've lost that sharpness and that really discipline when it comes to it. And I know for me, for definitely, I could do better. So I feel like it's a great time for us to just kind of let's regroup, let's get back on it. Yes, just like the cold showers, Tina. I love when you said you can't live in your feelings. I used to do that all the time. I still do it sometimes. I need to feel like doing it. Like, and my husband will be like, no. I'm like, I don't feel like doing it. He's like, do you think I ever feel like doing A, B, and C? Like, no. You're not waiting till you feel like doing it. We're doing it now. And I'm just like, And then he's like, didn't that feel good afterwards? I'm like, yes.
Oh, good, Joanne. You said you've never quit. That's the thing. I'm bad about tracking, but I don't. That's one thing I'm pretty consistent on. Probably 95% of the time. And usually if I do something, it's, my husband is like, well, we're going to go have breakfast, or we don't go have breakfast now, but before COVID and all of that. But for the most part, I say I'm not good with tracking. I like tracking it though, because then I can see you guys if they're doing stuff, and then that keeps me going that, oh yeah, people are looking at this. Otherwise I go off on my own little world and I'm not tracking it, which I think is important. The turnip wagon. What about, I think the wagon, does fasting have anything to do with depression? You're going to learn all that stuff. And overall, for some of these questions, I know there was something else that made me, maybe someone talked about depression. Fasting is very, very good for your brain. So all the things brain, all of them. It doesn't, one of the, Jess will talk about this, but one of the doctors that I follow, she is a brain specialist. She's not a brain specialist. She almost went to be a specialist for that. She's a medical doc, and Annette Bosworth is her name, and she is all about the brain, and she loves what it does for fasting. So anytime, obviously if you have some special condition, you work with your doctor and learn about your condition, but anything brain, it's been amazing for. And then Kathy talked about, I'm good with 16 for about 4 consecutive days. That's good. And then the 5th day is just all to pot, or what? Because if you're going 4 days, that's, some people can't even make it 1 day. So if you're going 4 days, or is it just willpower then?
And then how long are you doing the 4 consecutive? Is it 4 and then like you take 2 weeks off, and then do, like, how often are you doing that for? Do you take 1 day off? Yeah. But yes, the app is so great. With me too, like I've never stopped. Like I didn't go back to just eating like I was eating before. But what I'll notice is I like tracking, because with the app, if I don't, I might just be like, it's 11:30. And instead of waiting until 12 or 12:30 and really remembering, when was the last time I ate last night? Was it 8 or was it 9? And then, so if I'm kind of slipping back into 14 hours and I'm not hitting that 16 and getting the autophagy, I'm out, and it's like, why did I do all that work and I didn't even get to autophagy? So that's where I need to like tighten it up and get back on tracking, because otherwise I'm doing all this and I'm not even getting the benefits of it. So
yeah, you're not getting as many as you can. Any of it is going to be helpful, and the consistency. So that's like, I just heard someone, I think I'm kind of behind here. Or am I? Can you see me?
I see you.
So just, and the consistency of it. And I just heard, I can't think of her name, but a practitioner talking about, she has her people start out at 13 hours, because so many of them are like, oh my gosh, do that. Get started so that you can move up. Now I wanted to say, Joanne said, I think I need to do extended fast, and that seems scary. I ride around 18 to 22 and occasionally and then we lost her. So I think that what I would really get close and see what's going on. I don't know. I can't remember if you do your blood sugars, or if you track ketones, or if you do any of that, Joanne, but I would just kind of sit quiet. I don't know that you need to do anything else. Extended is fine. Obviously you can make that choice, but it may just be time. You have to think about, how long have I, if you do, are you insulin resistant? How long have I dealt with that? and obviously if something negative was going on, then obviously I don't think that's the problem, because you would say, but I don't know that you need, also we have to think of age. Age is huge. And we just have to be realistic.
Yeah.
We can't have done, some people, I've seen people that have, they were 300 and something pounds, and boom, they're down to 150. And it took a while, but they just hung in there and kept going and kept going. And then they show you their before picture that was like 4 or 5 years ago, or whatever it may be. But I'm really interested when it's someone that's in midlife or beyond, because that's where I am. And I want to be realistic. I just posted in my group about, we have to stop. I see women that are in their 30s, or I think they are. And then if they put their age, and they're like, they've done it in a week. And people are like, all the 50-year-olds are like, tell me your ways. I'm like, it ain't your way. No, she's got a 30-something-year-old body. You got at least a 60-something one. So we have to be.
You got it earlier. There is that accumulation. And like you said, you become insulin resistant. How insulin resistant? There's degrees of insulin resistance.
And people don't even know it because they've never been diagnosed. They're like, okay, I don't have insulin resistance. Nope, you might be. No testing, negative is overweight. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Negative is overweight?
That's the negative thing, is that she's overweight. She's been doing it for a while. I think she feels like she's trying to do like this. From what I've talked to her before, the 16-8, and she feels like she's just not getting past that.
Yeah.
She's like,
if I were,
how she feels, and so that's go ahead.
Well, I remember talking to her a couple times before on here, but if I would keep doing what you're doing, you can get some more testing. Go and get, now, things are opening up. Go and get your body fat tested. Make sure you're measuring yourself. If there is something going on hormonal, which that very well can be, just because of being, you said you're beyond midlife, so that means you're probably menopause. Our hormones are boom. I mean, almost to nothing. So that in itself makes you more insulin resistant. Just going through, when your estrogen drops, estrogen is what makes us, people think about babies and all that stuff. That's what makes us have beautiful skin and be able to keep the weight where it's supposed to be and all the things. So when it drops, that's why people almost automatically become insulin resistant. So the longer you go, the more that can be. So you have to think about that. So that's where you can get some more testing done. Don't sit tight, or leave it alone and just keep going and not be upset about it, or not upset, but you know what I mean, not thinking you're doing something wrong or anything like that.
And we talked last night, so hopefully you have done something about what we said. You told me, you promised me you're going to do. So when you go and get that test, then you can go ahead and get some other testing done. I know some of us, like, we resist going to the doctor and getting testing. It's like, get the stuff done so you can get a picture of where you're at. We don't have X-ray vision. We don't have you can't just see what's inside. And it's very helpful. It's very helpful. It can be motivating. It can give you a sense of control and empowerment, because then you can say, okay, let me make these changes, and then let me look at numbers, and then wow, I didn't see something here. Maybe I didn't lose a pound, but look what I did. Look at the progress that I was able to make at the cellular level. That's huge.
Look at my A1C, or look at my fasting insulin, whatever you can get whatever you can from your medical doctor, and then you have to go elsewhere to get a lot of other stuff. But you can start there. It seems like you've already talked with her about that.
Her husband's a doctor, so I'm like, girl, you gotta know.
If she don't go get these tests and stop like stressing and talking about, well, I think
whatever she wants. I'm telling your business, but she's a nurse, husband's a doctor. I'm like, okay, come on.
Okay. Well, good for her. So you've helped her. I think that we know where else to go next. It doesn't necessarily have to be extended fasting, and that's totally up to you. But sometimes you just need some numbers, and that's okay. I'm in the process of doing that, just because, number one, I want a baseline. I never used to get numbers because I didn't really need them, I thought, or whatever. But now I want a baseline for this, whatever I'm in, perimenopausal, beginning in whatever. And so I'm getting numbers for that reason. So.
Okay, Diana, does she not know what it is? Or sounds like maybe.
Maybe. That's going to tell you how much sugar is stuck to your red blood cells. The doctors can tell. So, but they don't do that stuff until they have a reason. Regular medical doctors don't. They only do it until like you're over the line, to be honest. They want you, I think if you're over 100 with the fasting, they do this. Everyone gets their fasting glucose. Mm-hmm. And they tell you they only want you to not eat 8 hours before. They take it. If it's below 100, and I just saw a test the other day, it was, I think they had like 105, 110. They was letting them go that high. Mm-hmm. Now, optimal is you want to be in the 80s, 83, 85. So if you're at 100 and they're letting you go by every year, what does that tell you? Mm-hmm. They're not giving you optimal health. So don't go for the doctor saying that it is okay, because that's not optimal. You want optimal. You want to be down in the 80s after fasting. And some people, you can even be lower, but at least you want to be there. So if you're 97, if you're 95, don't you want to know that? Right. But they don't tell you that. So you have to know what the numbers are as far as fasting. So anyway, Diana, after you're at 100, so you're already creeping up there, then they may give you, they may say pre-diabetic. Well, they won't say that. They'll do the A1C, and that will tell them. And I think it's 5.2 and over is pre-diabetic. So they're late, y'all. Don't wait on them.
Mm-mm. No, and that is an indication, because the red blood cells live for about 3 months, that shows you how much over the past 3 months about what your blood sugar has been on average. So it's much more helpful to see what's been going on instead of just that snapshot in time of that fasting glucose. So it's a good test for you to be able to have. But again, usually it's not ordered until there's a concern that things have gone too far. But we're going to talk about all of that in the challenge. So make sure, this is a part where I'll talk about, if you are not already in my Level Up with Jess exclusive group, you need to be part of that so that you can join us for the fasting challenge. If you're already in that group, we did this already at the beginning of the year. We're going to do it again. I'm going to add in some new studies and some new research and some new fun stuff that I didn't talk about last time. Kind of review again, get everybody back on the app, which is called Life. The Life fasting app is what we use. If you're not in that group, hit up in the comments and say, I need to get in the group, and I will let you know how. I'm also going to be doing a webinar on Friday, just kind of explaining all the other benefits of being in that group. But yeah, that's the plan. We're going to do this next week. What else was I going to say about this?
When are we fasting as a group?
Starting next Monday, so a week from today.
Okay. So you guys got time, so you can procrastinate until Monday. So use up all your procrastination days for those of you who aren't. Oh, good, Susan, you can get in on this one. It's kind of like she said, what she started talking about herself when she said she was noticing what she was doing. But we heard that from you guys, that you get off track when it's not with the, doing it with the group is good. And so that's what that app is for. And you're more than welcome to keep going. I see some of you have, but I was not tracking as much. Well, I wasn't tracking much at all. I just started a couple days ago. So I'm like, let me get back to tracking, because I know people are over there, because some of them text me and say, are you still fasting? Yeah, I'm still fasting. I'm just being bad about tracking.
Oh yeah.
And you can go in and look, you can click on someone's name and see what they're doing. And I'm not saying that to be nosy, but the info is there and it's helpful to see.
Yeah.
It's helpful to see. You can click on mine. You'd have to go way back to see when I tracked for like 2 years straight. Yeah. And then I started falling off with the tracking, but I always kept up with fasting. So the app is really good. And they're doing more and more free things in that app. I haven't bought it, so I don't know about the next level stuff. Yeah. But it's plenty of free stuff. You do not be worried about you have to buy anything unless you just want to.
No, we can even have our little circle free. I had mentioned that I got some blue tansy on my shirt. This is great, if you are having a problem with moving forward this idea, or if you're having a problem moving forward with anything, try it. Okay, you guys, people that procrastinate usually procrastinate on things that help them to not procrastinate. So that being said, I've never done the blue tansy toe challenge.
You haven't? You haven't?
Hello, procrastinator.
You
So
have it? It's amazing.
I've never done it. So I just today was like, what somebody that got started with the BOGO box last month, and she has been texting me right and left about all of these things that she's using Blue Tansy. She's like, oh my goodness. And she was not playing. She got her bottle out and she was like using it. She made a gel. She made stuff for cellulite. She made a cream. She made a body butter. She was like, my body. She's like, everything's great. And so she said she also did the toe, and she said, I've gotten more done in the past week. Yeah. So I was like, okay, let me get my Blue Tansy. And I think I'm stingy too. I'm like, okay, so a drop every day for a month, that's 30 drops.
Yeah, but put it in a roller that's just for your toe.
Yes, and also I had about maybe like a quarter of a bottle left. So then I just squirted.
You got a potent one, because I don't even think.
So now it's diluted, but now I can still drop. So yeah, I did kind of same thing. I diluted it, and it's just I'll use this for my toe. This rest of this one, because this isn't the one.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I know some people that are like, I'm doing this every day for the rest of my life.
No, I've only done it for 2 days, and I could tell. I'm like, I'm liking it. It is definitely, just be careful you don't get it on your clothes.
Yeah, and if you put it, I like using oils like Jess does, and I do have some rollers, but then once I use a roller, I can't share with anyone. It's just a whole deal. So
it's expensive, but roller, yeah. Except, go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
So be sure to the Blue Tansy challenge is to put a Blue Tansy on your foot, your big toe, every day.
Yeah.
And people do a drop, or people do a portion of a drop. And so we were talking about adding, making a roller out of it, or if you have a little bit, adding some fractionated coconut oil to it, whatever you want to do. Some people flat out use the big drop. I didn't do that, and I had good experience. So whatever you want to do, get it on your big toe. That's brain. Someone asked about that. Oh, Shelly, a particular toe. Anything brain, your big toe.
Right.
You want to work with. So you do that every day, and it is really, really good for procrastination. It's good for a lot of things. We have a whole bunch of maybe I can find some of them experiences that people have had. We have that on some of our inside the health and wellness community stuff. Do you have anything in love? You probably do. I don't know if you have testimonies in Level Up, but you've talked about Blue Tansy in Level Up.
I don't have a testimony for that, except for Emily, what she's been saying, what she just texted me. But I was just going to say, remember when you put it on your toe to just give a little pressure. So it's that's the reflex point for your brain, is the tip of your big toe. Mm-hmm. So just give your big toe a little pinch and activate that reflex point. It's fine if you just put it there too. And then of course you're going to walk, but it's really nice if you apply a little bit of pressure to that point when you put it on. That's the whole point of using that reflex point. So yes, very exciting. If you're hesitating and not moving forward and not making the decision, why wait? So not on your health, not for your health. It's one area.
Pick something to do. I mean, whatever it is, that's the other thing that keeps me motivated, is I'm always trying to do something, one thing or another. And then I just add it, whether it's, I don't know, jumping rope or doing the cold shower. Like there's so many different things, and you don't have to try to do it all and like listen about everything and then don't do nothing. No, don't do that. Pick something and do it. And you can pick.
Yeah.
Somebody said you're not planning to sleep tonight.
I know, but I actually need to be up and like do some stuff.
You got some stuff to do, huh?
I've been kind of babying myself a little bit lately. And then last night we drove by our house, and we were like looking in there. I was like, "Ooh, it got real." I got real because I was like, "This thing is almost done." And my in-laws over there like, we're moving in. You guys, So I'm like, I can't have them be all over there and just living in the house. I'm not even over there. I mean, obviously it's their house too, but I'm like, I got to get into. So we got to get this together. So I'm like,
yes. Well, and also, what do they say? How do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? Is that it?
yep.
I mean, that is so true. And you know you're gonna feel that when you get started. When you get even if you have a little hiccup, you'll be like, well, at least I got those 5 boxes done, or I got that room done, or whatever. But it's the starting. It's the starting for me. And then I'm like, why did I procrastinate that? And so I've been trying to do better with I'm doing better with organization. Part of that is because of the program our team is in, and that's really helped me. I'm like, oh my goodness, I guess I needed this a long time ago, because I have so much peace because I'm more organized. And that is like a cuss word for me.
Yeah.
Because I just fly by the seat of my pants.
Right.
That's not how it should go. So it's helping me to be more organized, not as strict as I would want to be. It's kind of even funny that I'm saying that, because I thought strict organization was for boring folks, because they tend to be boring people. I'm not boring. So I had to get over that, you know what, you can, now you have, I know what I'm doing, and I know that, okay, I'm doing this on this day. It's nice. It's so, and it's taken me a while to get there, because it goes against everything I believed and everything in my DNA. So I've had to switch it over, because it is the best thing.
Yeah. So do you do both toes or one? I just put both. Is it supposed
you can do both, and then some people actually kind of rub them together.
Oh yeah.
Then, you can. I did both. Just I because I had it in. I use body butter and stuff on my feet every single day, and so that was just one extra little step in there, and I do it on both feet. So that's what I did.
Roller, I don't know. It depends on how strong or how potent you want it. 20 drops in a roller would probably be fine. I don't know. What would you say?
Yeah. Yep. That's what I would say. Don't start out with too much, because you can't remove it. You can always add some. If you're like, after 2 or 3 days, I literally feel nothing, then go ahead and add some. I doubt you would say that though.
Yeah. Yeah. 20 is a quarter of your bottle. That's a good amount.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Remember, share the video. Get in the group if you're not in the group. If you need to wait until Friday and really listen to the webinar and learn why you would want to be in the group, that's totally fine. But if you want to be part of this next fasting challenge, you need to get into Level Up. We've talked about it before.
You're gonna put the link there?
I will put the link to get started.
To be able to get started. And then Friday, like you said, if people need more information, you're going to do a webinar of why they should be in the group. Be doing this challenge is just one of the things. So
yeah, I mean, we talk about so much, and we're able to speak very there's just so much more access and so much more we just delve into things.
Let me just say, y'all, you get Jess in the group. You get her. So, I mean, come on now. You get her. And then she like breaks down all the stuff that y'all asking these 5,910 questions. She answers all that stuff in there over and over, more than one way. You can go back and see. I mean, it's like a no-brainer. I'm just saying. I know I'm, partial, but I'm just saying that's what happens. So.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be great. Okay. Thank you guys for it rocks. Shelly is my cheerleader. Thank you guys for paying attention to our show tonight. We will again next Monday. So next Monday will be the start of our fasting challenge 2.0. We did one this year already. This is 2.0. So we'll start it Monday, and then Monday night we'll talk about it some more. So we'll talk about kind of like the launch of it. Best group. Okay, Edith. Come on with all the praise.
You give so much in that group, so that cannot be denied.
Yes, I'll get my packing done. Okay. Yes, guys. Okay. Take care. We will see you next week. Bye, guys.